I'm Nathan Mehan. This is Art in a Day for Art History 1003. We are at the University of Arkansas Fine Arts Building in front of the Fine Arts Gallery. Let's go take a look at what's in here. It's exciting to present a piece that's so new and groundbreaking in its field. These photos didn't used to be so accessible to everyone. It used to take a really expensive camera that only the wealthy or professional could afford to have. So this is a nice break into the more expensive realm of art for the everyday person.
As optical sensors get better, we have a finer level of control over exposure, brightness, and a lot of other parameters that's important in photography. So as more people become familiar with this, we can get ever better photos like this one.
The work is made up of a single photograph that was captured with only one opening of the shutter of a camera. It features a straight upward view of the ever-moving starscape, which is framed by a tall stately tree opposite on one side from a more generic grouping of other trees and undergrowth on the other. It features a very small, almost monochromatic color palette, instead using extreme contrast and flowing gradients in hue to achieve its drama and sense of movement. It is very dramatically illuminated and displays a great deal of detail. However, the other side, the grouping of trees, is completely devoid of all illumination and detail. Influences section. This specific medium, having only been around for 30 to 40 years, really limits the ability to compare North Star to determine its stylistic influence. As nature is usually the subject of these works, nature is also the controlling stake in what turns out in the final project. All the artist has control over is adjusting the way the camera takes the picture, the physical parameters of the camera itself. The location of the photograph defines what will end up in it and how it is purposely framed, which is evidenced in McCormick's piece, but there is no guarantee that which the artist envisioned will actually come to fruition. It is equally likely that an unforeseen event may be captured that could make an exposure attempt unexpectedly awesome. The extended exposure method, in general, blends the organic quality of nature with the geometric, repetitive qualities of abstract art seen in the late 1800s and early 1900s. This method illustrates the continued expansion of possibilities that we then can view as art. I chose this piece because it appeals to me as one of the only mediums that I feel I would personally be good at as an artist. It is also such a modern technique that I feel it really drives the expansion of art into new mediums that maybe wouldn't have been possible before now. Light art is definitely on the cutting edge, so to speak, in the art world, and that is always where I strive to be in my very technical engineering background. These trees appear no different here in this extended exposure shot than they would had they been taken in a quick shot. The illumination and detail in the lone large tree suggests to me that there must have been some deeper meaning and significance to the artist. One last element I'd like to mention is the way the central circle of the starscape, which appears to be static, unmoving, seems to blend so delicately into the clearly dynamic portion of the sky surrounding it. This single element makes me unsure that this was actually taken in one extended exposure shot, or rather maybe a compilation of an extended exposure shot and a quick exposure shot blended purposefully by the artist